Well,
plug
I think
there.
we should just start out with you sort of telling the viewers who is Kirk Fletcher, for the people that are not into blues yet.
Sometimes I wonder that very question. But anyway, Kirk Fletcher is primarily a blues guitar player in Southern California, and I've played with Charlie Musselwhite, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, Geneva Magnus, and a lot of blues artists around that time. And I've been blessed enough to play with some of the older blues artists like James Cotton and members of the Muddy Waters Blues Band. Doyle Bramhall is another one. And yeah, I am really just happy and fortunate to have played with some of those people. And where I started was in my father's church back in about 1984. He had a Pentecostal church called Macedonia Church of God in Christ in Compton, California. And that's really where I learned how to play at. Up until I was probably in my early 20s, I played there every Sunday, every Tuesday, and every Friday. And, that was an experience that I can't even put into words, about that. And then having my older brother, like I said before, kind of mentoring me and giving me records of not only gospel, like Jimi Hendrix and all that, like I said, Van Halen, Diver Down, all that stuff too. It really was like just this big, potpourri of awesome stuff. So that's really kind of how I got my start. And then a little later, I played in a lot of gospel bands and R&B bands, just growing up in high school and after. And then after a while, because I've always been pretty much blues has been my main thing. And I met a guy named Al Blake, who was a part of the Hollywood Fats Band, a local West Coast band that has toured everywhere too. And he really was, kind of mentored me and got me into the real traditional blues and listening to all of the stuff that came before me, just all the country blues and everything. So he was big, and he's the guy that introduced me to Kim Wilson, Junior Watson, Kim Wilson of the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and Junior Watson, another West Coast legend on the guitar. And these guys all just kind of helped me so much and took me under their wings. So that's really where it all started. And then that led to, obviously, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, because I met him there, and Charlie Musselwhite was still in that whole thing too. And that's where I got to really say I'm a blues guy and I'm going out on the road and I'm doing that, only. So that's kind of how it started. Sorry I went on so long.
That's cool. It's cool. So you mentioned previously that you started focusing on singing and songwriting as well.
Yeah, that's scary.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that happened because, after I left the Fabulous Thunderbirds, I kind of wanted to do my own CD and, just do my own band. And, I was always thinking, well, I should get a singer, But, getting a singer is kind of difficult sometimes, especially when you want to do your own thing and you've already spent your whole life up until that point being a side man, So I figured, I have to try now. So Michael Landau, the great guitar player, actually helped me kind of get started, along with a lot of my friends were like, man, just try it. Just sing one song. So I done a record at his house, my Kirk Fletcher is My Turn record. And he said, man, you can do it. So I was so comfortable, I just tried it, and that's where it kind of started. I just sang a Jimmy Reed tune, easy, and just kind of, went from there. And now it's turned into really enjoying the fact of learning new songs and really getting inspired. Everybody's so inspirational and in my corner to, keep going with it and giving me constructive criticism. So it's become sort of like kind of my main thing. I mean, I pretty much only listen to singers now, and it's kind of really kind of coming out a lot, more, and of course guitar too, but like just listening to country music and, the great blues singers like Bobby Bland, Robert Cray, and people like that, so it's just coming out more and more, and I'm excited to work on that more and more. And then I have a couple buddies I write songs with too, so that'll be coming out more too on my next record.
Any plans on when that's coming out?
You know, hopefully I'm going to start cutting some tracks in March.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're heading on. This is the NAMM show 2015, and you're heading on tour.
I'm going on tour. You can check my website, kirkfletcherband.com. And I'll be over in Europe. I'll be in France, Denmark, Germany. And that's about all I know. You know how the musicians are. We never know what's going on. Just point us to the airport. And yeah, I have a new CD out, Live at the Baked Potato Burning Blues, and that was a lot of fun. I got to do that with some friends, and we got to let our hair down, what little we have, and have some fun. So yeah, look for that. That'll be off my website and everywhere else too, iTunes and everything.